In part 2 of Introduction to Lambda Expressions, we will now show our program's functionality and present our test cases. We have not yet created our test case, and we'll do that here. A quick overview, we did a quick explanation of the research in the Oracle documentation, very quick look at it. And we wrote a simple Java program that uses a Lambda expression to implement a functional interface using the runnable interface for this task. Right? We created a functional interface defining and naming it math operation with a single abstract method operate integer a, integer b. We then as well wrote a Java program that uses the Lambda expression to provide implementations for math operation. We have them over here. We sorted the list by writing a Java program that creates a list of strings and sorts it using a Lambda expression. That is for task 3. We wrote a Java program that creates a list of integers and filters out even numbers using a Lambda expression, as well as created or wrote a Java program that uses the predicate functional interface to check if a string is empty or not. Wrote a Java program that uses the functional interface to convert a string to uppercase. And as well some advanced usage. We wrote a Java program that composes two functions using the and then. Struggled a bit here understanding this. I should be honest. The and then method. Struggled a little bit with it in understanding. And one function should add 1 to a number, and the other should multiply the result by 10. Where do we have this? We have this right over here. And we defined a custom functional interface named string operation with a method apply, right? With a method apply string s1, string s2. We implemented this interface with a Lambda expression that concatenates two strings and another that finds the longer string. And we have that right over here. Okay, so let's show our program's functionality with that. And here we have it. So we have here the basic arithmetic operations, addition, right? So a simple 5 plus 9 gives us 14, and 13 minus 9, 4, and multiplication, this is 10, so that means 5 times 2, and we divide 6 by 2, which gives us 3. We have as well the results of our list here, which is unsorted. And then we have it here, the sorted list. And so on and so on. So we have here the list of the odd numbers because we filtered out our even numbers. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We also checked to see if the list is empty, and so is empty.test, so list is not empty, so that gives us false. And then let me leave the list empty, and then we'll see what we get. We get true this time because the list is empty. or pardon, the string is empty, and we have uppercase string for lambda, so we passed a lowercase lambda string, and we have it lambda here. We have as well task 5, which is, yeah, struggling to understand a little bit here, but manage. So we pass num, right? So the number plus, so in this case we have it as 3. I believe I said it as 3. Yeah, we 2 actually. So 2 right over here. So 2 plus 1, that gives us 3. That means that 3, the result, which is a result of add 1, and then we multiply by 10. So that means that 3 times 10 gives us 30. We have it over here. And then concatenation lambda expressions, we have a concatenation of the strings lambda and expressions. And we, out of that concatenated string, we pull out the longer string, which is expressions. That indeed is correct. So yeah, pretty solid. And let's create some test cases here. Let me create here based on these arithmetic operations. I'll create a test case out of it. Oh, my eye. Okay. All right. So we're gonna have a public class. Say lambda expressions test. And I'll just paste this over here. And I'll pass the first test here. And let me say test addition. And let's assert equal here. So we want to assert that 15, if we do the add operation, right? And we should do like operate here. Right? 15 is a result of, let me see, 10 plus 5. Okay. I don't need this stuff here. Let me see, void here. The return type here wasn't showing. Okay, so then we have, let me see here, we have just, let me test subtraction. We have, let's test subtraction, let's test, what should we test? Let's test, let's say, the result should be, let me say the same here, right? So if we subtract 10 by 5, it should give us 5. So let's say subtract operate. Let's say 10 by 5, right? And let me go ahead and copy this here to save me some time. Let me copy this again. And so here we have multiply. So multiplication. Multiplication. And we're going to assert 10 times 5, 50. So we're going to assert 50 here. Really, it's just really basic arithmetics. It's not really much you need to test here, I think. But division. So yeah, we're going to test here division. And let me say, because division we want to test like more than just one case. So let me say division by 0. Right, I'll say division by 0. And so division by 0. Division by 0 gives us what again? Let me say, should give us 0. Because, wait, hold on, let me call this up here. Yeah, it gives us 0, so we passed down 0 there. So you should give us 0 here. Let me also assert here one more, just to make sure. Let me say, let's assert 0 again, but let's this time subtract. Dot operate. Let's say 0 by 0, right? Let's see what we get here. Let's see what we get there. Let me do division. Division by non-0. And we can say, let me say 3. Right? And I know it should, what should it be? Let's assert, what should we assert? Let's actually just assert something random. So let's assert something random. Let's say 3. No, let's say, I know it should be 3.333333 or something like that, right? But let's say 2 here. Let's assert 2, right? Just to purposely fail and see what we get there. And let me do here a 4. I don't know why, but let's just do a 4. If we do 60 divided by 15, let's say like that. All right, and yeah, let me, I think, do one more. Yeah, I think I got an idea here. Let's say let me test here something. Yeah, let me test Let me test. Actually, let me test one more year. Okay, division by 0, right? Let me say division by, let me say negative division. Say negative division. And let me say -3. Let me leave it at 0 there. And let me say, some C, let me say 2. No, let me say 4 actually. Let me say 4 -8. And let's assert your, let's leave it at 0. Let's do just one more year. Let me do for subtraction year. I'll do it for subtraction year. And I want to test, I want to test, let's say, test negative sub. Let me just say it like this. And I'll assert let me assert your a -5, right? When we subtract upper right here, when we subtract 5 -10. No syntax errors. All right, let's go ahead and run these test cases here. Okay, so we have already some failing tests here as expected. Nothing special here. Hold on, let me test case here. All right, let's try to read through. So the first one that we that failed is that lambda expressions test division by non-zero. Okay, so division by non-zero. All right. Yeah. So you're expected 2, but was 7. Where is this? Division by non-zero. It was 7. It was 7? Hold on, let me confirm real quick here something. Let's see here. What is this? 10. Oh wait, hold on. I did a mistake. Actually, this is division, but I wrote subtract here. I wrote subtract. Opa. Okay, let's divide here. And let's divide here as well. And this is division, so it should be divide and not subtract. Okay. Division and not subtract. Let me make sure everything else is this. Ooh, we did here as well division. I mean, we did here as well subtract. Let's go ahead and do a divide here. And divide. Subtract, add. Yeah, let me just do one more for addition. Start equals. Let me do let's say add operate. Uh, let's say what? There's nothing really. Oh, actually, let's say just a quick minus 3 plus 6. Let's say 6. And let's give ourselves here a 2. Let's leave it like that. Let's go ahead and compile that again. Let's run our test case here. Test everything. Okay. All right. So now we can go back to division by non-zero. Okay. Now let's go read that. Division by non-zero. So expected 2 but was 3. Where do we have expected 2? Division by non-zero over here. So we expected 2 but was 3. And that is correct because, like I said, 10 over 3. 10 over 3 is 3.33. Yeah, 3.33333, and it goes on. So we can go ahead and change this to 3. And then what else we fill? We fill the test multiplication. Test multiplication. Oh, again here we subtract instead of multiply. So let's go ahead and change that. Let's go ahead and change that. Multiply. Okay. Let's go ahead and multiply. So. All right, we fixed that, and then what else here? We have test addition. So where's test addition? We expected a 2, but was a 3. So that means that negative 3 plus 6 is a 3. And expected a 0, but was minus 2. Lambda expressions. What is this? Test negative division. Test negative division. So expected 0, but was minus 2. Okay, let's go ahead and comment this out to make sure which one is it. Let's test all. Okay, so it's definitely this one here. All right, so let's compile that again. Compile that so we know that expected 0 but was minus 2. So that means that this is a minus 2. And now we can properly test our cases here. And here we have it. Successfully passed all our test cases here. Pretty solid. And what else here? So we should push it to our GitHub. All right, let's go ahead and push this to our GitHub. Create a new repository. New repository. I'm gonna call this Lambda expressions. Yeah, let me say Lambda expressions. And let me just say here the save this actually. All right, understanding the basics of Lambda expressions in Java. All right, let's go ahead and create that. Let me fix this here. Okay, let me just say, I'm copy this here. Lambda expressions. The purpose is to understand this, and that. Okay. No, let's do this. And to practice, let's do this like this. And to practice using that. Okay, hold on. Okay, much better. Today is March, March 22nd, 2025. And pretty solid year explanation. Oh, pretty solid explanation here. Okay. Let's save that and just make sure. Okay. Go ahead and open my Finder here real quick here. Save it as a markdown. Change the extension there. And let's go back to our repository here. Let's create, okay, yeah, let's save the address. Let me open my terminal here. And let me see it into downloads. Downloads. And let me do a git clone. And the HTTPS. Let me just simply, hold on, let me close this here. Like this is better. Okay. So let me just save this folder inside our repository like that. And then let's cd into our repository, Lambda expressions. And we do git add, right? We're gonna add all, everything, including the folder. And let's commit. Let's say initial. Oh wait, sorry. Let me say git commit -m initial. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I don't usually do it. I don't usually commit errors like this. Hold on. Let me clear this out here. Hold on. Let me restart this. Sorry for that. Let's see into our downloads. I made a mistake. I forgot to add the closing quotes, the closing double quote. So, but yeah. Let me say Lambda expressions, right? We already did the git add, so we don't have to do that. But anyways, we do the git commit, and this time should be right. We can do an initial. We can do this, and now we have it. And then we can push git push -u or region main, and let's refresh our repository here, and then we have it.